You hatch from your egg on a rocky cliffside 85 million years ago in what will one day be called North America. The first thing you notice? The wind. It's relentless, whipping around you like it's trying to knock you off your perch before you even take your first breath. Your mom is nowhere to be seen. Typical. Pteranodons aren't exactly known for their parenting skills. You're on your own from day one, and the world below looks like a death trap. Your first challenge? Learning to fly. Sounds fun, right? Wrong. Your wings are awkward and floppy, and your body feels like it's made of twigs. You take a few clumsy steps to the edge of the cliff, peer over, and immediately regret it. The drop is terrifying, but if you don't jump, you'll starve. So, with a deep breath, or whatever passes for a breath in your tiny lungs, you leap. For a moment, you're soaring, flailing like a fish out of water. Ironic, since you're in water. You manage to scramble onto a rock, drenched and humiliated. Flying is harder than it looks. Once you finally get the hang of flying, sort of, you realize the next problem: food. Pteranodons are supposed to be masters of the skies, swooping down to snatch fish from the water. But you're more like a clumsy seagull with a wingspan that's way too big for your body. You dive for a fish, miss, and end up with a mouthful of seaweed. Your stomach growls, and you start to wonder if being a pteranodon is all it's cracked up to be. And then there's the competition. Other pteranodons are bigger, faster, and meaner than you. They don't take kindly to newcomers, especially ones who can't even catch a fish without face-planting into the ocean. You try to join a group, but they shriek at you and flap their wings aggressively. You're an outcast before you've even had your first real meal. Life doesn't get any easier as you grow. Your wingspan stretches to an impressive 20 feet, but that just makes you a bigger target for predators. Marine reptiles like mosasaurs lurk below the surface, waiting for you to get too close to the water. And if you fly too high, you risk running into other flying reptiles who see you as a snack. It's a no-win situation. You eventually get better at hunting, but it's still a struggle. You spot a school of fish and dive, your wings tucked tight against your body. This time, you manage to snag a fish. Victory! But before you can celebrate, a larger pteranodon swoops in and steals your catch. You let out a frustrated screech, but there's nothing you can do. The bigger, stronger pteranodons always win. As the years go by, you start to carve out a small territory for yourself. It's not much, just a stretch of coastline with a few decent fishing spots, but it's yours. You even manage to find a mate, a fellow Pteranodon who's just as scrappy as you are. Together, you build a nest on a cliffside and lay a clutch of eggs. For the first time, life feels stable. But stability doesn't last long in the Mesozoic. One day, while you're out hunting, a massive storm rolls in. The wind howls, and the waves crash against the cliffs. You try to make it back to your nest, but the storm is too strong. By the time it passes, your nest is gone, swept away by the wind and rain. Your eggs are lost, and your mate is nowhere to be found. You're alone again, and the world feels colder than ever. You continue to survive, but the thrill of flying has faded. Every day is a struggle against the elements, the predators, and your own kind. You start to wonder if being a pteranodon is worth it. Sure, you can fly, but at what cost? As you grow older, your wings begin to ache, and your reflexes slow. The younger pteranodons mock you, screeching as they fly past you with ease. You try to keep up, but your body just can't handle it anymore. You're no longer the king of the skies. You're just another old pteranodon waiting for the end. The one day, while gliding over the ocean, you spot a shadow moving beneath the surface. It's a mosasaur, and it's heading straight for you. You try to fly higher, but your tired wings can't lift you fast enough. The mosasaur leaps out of the water, its jaws snapping shut just inches from your tail. You manage to escape, but the encounter leaves you shaken. You realize that your time is running out. The world is changing, and you're no longer at the top of the food chain. The younger pteranodons are faster, stronger, and more adaptable. You've had your time in the sun, but now it's someone else's turn. As you perch on a cliff, watching the sun set over the ocean, you feel a strange sense of peace. You've survived against the odds, but you know your story is coming to an end. The wind picks up, and for a moment you feel like you're flying again, free and untouchable. But then the moment passes, and you're just an old Pteranodon, waiting for the final chapter of your life to close. The next morning, you take one last flight over the ocean. The sun is warm on your wings, and the world feels alive with possibility. You dive for one final fish, catching it with ease. For a moment, you feel like the king of the skies once more. But as you soar back to the cliffs, you feel your strength fading. You land on a rocky outcrop, your wings heavy and your body tired. You close your eyes, and for the first time in your life, you feel truly at peace. The wind carries your final breath away, and the world moves on without you. Being a Pteranodon was hard, but it was also beautiful. And in the end, that's all that matters. The skies are quiet now, but your legacy lives on. The younger Pteranodons will continue to soar, to hunt, and to struggle. And maybe, just maybe, they'll find the same beauty in their lives that you found in yours. But let's be real. It still sucked to be born as a Pteranodon.